Hello and welcome to BCC Virtual Racing. Tonight we use the Downtown Dolphin course, and at 19.7 kilometers long is one of the shortest in use. Riders must complete 10 laps of a fairly flat 1.9 kilometer course. The pace is likely to be very fast tonight, and many riders will be lapped not once but perhaps multiple times. As we join the riders in the start pens, let's have a look at the riders to watch for tonight's race. In Category A, the flattish course should suit Lancia, now going for a record 5th win in a row for the A's. Still a relatively unknown rider in the A category, Jury, but I think she is one to watch. Her fitness is definitely improving. In Category B, Ketley is back, a rider to watch when it comes to the final sprint, and not to be outdone by him. Taff has been improving very well since he moved up to Category B a few weeks ago. In Category C, the continual competition between Stoneham and Collier will be interesting to watch. I think going back a few weeks, Stoneham has now won 2 times to Collier's once. And let's not forget Nixon, Morton, Littlewood and Telford, all capable of beating each other on a good day. 3 seconds before the gun, we are starting with Category C riders tonight. And the race is underway. The short laps will be a great incentive for many of the riders, as they will always be able to see someone ahead or someone just behind them. First rider on course tonight, Telford at 240 watts, followed by Littlewood, and just behind him Morton. In fact, all the riders are pretty strung out as the race gets underway. It doesn't look as if Collier's had a great start, 4 seconds further back in the field. At 1.7 kilometers in, 350 watts with O'Brien, and in this group mostly A's and B's, but quite a few C's in there as well. Jury has already managed to acquire the polka dot jersey. If she can stay within the group and keep Lancia in view, I think she'll do very well tonight. As you can see in this aerial shot, the group is beginning to stretch out somewhat, but in this group, Campbell, Davis, Ketley, O'Brien, Shannon, Taff as well. Not sure what Ketley's doing there, wobbling all over the place, but let's have a look and see. I don't think this is what it looks like. It's not Ketley riding by himself. I think he's made a decision just to drop back from the A's and perhaps join the B group behind him. In fact, they're the A's in front of him now. Our first look at Mayhew Smith riding with the B's, a strong rider. Let's hope he doesn't get disqualified this time for being overpowered. At 3.2 kilometers with the C's, Littlewood, Jones and May in this group, and Tamsin is also in this group of riders. And here is our first look at Collier, a little further back in the field than I would expect, but to be fair, I can't see Stoneham, so he may be ahead of him or behind him. Let's see if I can find out. With Campbell now, who has lost contact with the B group that he was riding with by 4 or 5 seconds. Shannon up in front. No sooner had I said that, and Campbell has in fact caught up with Ketley on screen now. At 7 kilometers, Jury and O'Brien in this leading group. Davis finds himself amongst a group of largely Category A riders. Just looking ahead down the course, he could in fact be chasing this group just in front on screen now, which has Lancia and Jury within. Another B rider, Mayhew Smith, sitting in with the A's as well. In fact, he is some 3-4 seconds ahead of Lisa at this stage of the race. Also doing very well within this group is Jury, and just behind her in that shot now, O'Brien. Looks as if the group he is riding with is losing contact with that leading A group. The pace may just be a little too high for him. Let's see what happens a little further on. Now with the B group of Ketley, Taff, who else is in here? Shannon, Campbell. I expect them to stay pretty much together for most of this race. And here's our first look at Stoneham. I'm not sure where he is in relation to Collier, whether he is in fact ahead or behind. Riding by himself, which isn't a great sign. In fact, here's the answer to that question. Riding with Morton is Collier, a little further back in the course, along with Nixon as well in this group. It is entirely possible with so many riders on so many short laps that Collier just doesn't know where Stoneham is. In this group of Cat C riders, May, Littlewood and Tamsin, in fact they've just been caught by Category A riders, Lancia, Dury, and I'm assuming Mayhew, Smith and Davis are probably in there as well. Mayhew, Smith with Lancia and Dury still in contention in this group. I'd be surprised if he stays with it, but he might do. He has surprised us many times in the past. Here we are with Lancia, still looking for his 5th win up this slight incline. 10.8k with Littlewood at the moment, and I can't see who he's riding with. It looks like Tamsin from here. Yes, it is. These two riders often seem to match each other pace for pace, with Littlewood typically just winning towards the end. But Tamsin is definitely getting stronger. We may have missed his move, but it looks as if Davis has managed to hang on with the A's at 14 kilometres, only 4.7k left, holding around 270, 250 watts, so not far off his FTP at this stage. And no sooner have I said that, and it looks as if he's dropped slightly away from the group, only a second ahead, so it might just be a temporary thing. In fact, it looks like it. He is gaining on them now. Now with Stoneham again, or with Stoneham now, who is definitely ahead of Collier, with Telford, who has just been lapped by Stoneham in the group ahead. Taft, Shannon, Ketley and Campbell riding well together in this group of 10 riders. They've just reached 14.4 kilometres and have just passed Jones at 12.6 kilometres. This is a good pace for Shannon. The numbers I've seen during this race, he's been sitting at or near his best average watts. O'Brien is slightly further ahead at 15.6 kilometres, still seems to be riding well. It looked for a moment here like Jury was beginning to drop off from that group of A riders, but I think it's just the corners stretching the group out and back together again. And here at the front with Lancia, with only 2 3/4 kilometres to go, Mayhew Smith is doing well to hold the pace with this group of Category A riders. Let's follow this group of riders to the finish now. It looks as if it could be quite exciting, quite stretched out. The riders will be trying to get themselves in a great position for the final sprint. A bit too early to go yet. That is the finish line on the left of the screen. They've got to go around the corner at the bottom, then back up, sprint towards that archway. Lancia, Mayhew, Smith, Jury and Davis all beginning to wind it up for the line. Who's going to get there first? I think it looks like Lancia. Not quite sure. Yes, it's Lancia, followed by Davis, Mayhew, Smith and Jury. Looks like the Beaconsfield A team of Campbell, Shannon and Taff up against Ketley in the Bs. Ketley trying to position him well for the sprint towards the back. Just where he likes to be as they round the final corner. Finish line ahead. Campbell and Shannon winding it up early. Ketley responding though. He's leading from the front. He's pushing hard. I think he's going to get there first. Let's have a look. Yes, he does. Well done. Stoneham on the final bend of the course, getting ready for his sprint to the finish, just ahead of him, 300 metres away. No sign of Collier on this camera view, but I think he is about 8-9 seconds behind Stoneham. Stoneham crosses the line in 28.20 with Collier in 28 minutes 28 seconds. Mixon finishes in 28.51, and this is Telford. He looks as if he's finishing, but he is in fact 1 lap further behind, as is Jones. They have 1 more lap to complete each. Littlewood finishes ahead of Tamsin in 30 minutes and 9 seconds. Morton seems to be riding well as he sprints towards the finish with Tamsin. Wonder which of the two. Looks as if Tamsin's pulling out in front. Yes, she is. She's got slightly more power. She's going to get him on the line, and she crosses the line less than 1 second ahead of Morton. May at 360 odd watts, pushing for the finish. He in fact finishes ahead of both Telford and Jones, just behind Morton in 31 minutes and 37 seconds. So that's it for tonight's racing. Let's have a look at the results as we join Shannon on his cool down lap. Another great win for Lancia, and the standout performance of the evening, Davis, who managed to catch up with the A group, cover the break and finish second overall time-wise and first in the Bs. Another great performance from the master sprinter Ketley, beating Taff by just a fraction of a second on the finish line. And let's not forget the ongoing battle between Stoneham and Collier, though they were always apart in this race, but Stoneham wins yet again. Not sure what happened, but DNFs from Lisa and Lord. Thanks for watching another great evening's racing. See you again Monday evening.